It is. Okay. Cool. All right. So we're live. We're live. All right. So Tish. So your name is Tish? Tish?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. And where is it that you're from? I saw you're from like Ghana, is it?
Ghana.
Love it. Love it. I know a few people from Ghana. Just the loveliest people, you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So before the recording, Tish was telling me, I usually like to ask this question because the goal is to find out what kind of person they are, what kind of what's their sentiment. Because the thing is this, right? The trading that I do, which your idea of trading was a little bit more on the investing side, right? So
Right.
basically, basically more so buying a stock, holding it, and so on. But the kind of trading that I do is basically day trading. It's a very fast paced form of trading, right? You can lose money very quick. You can make money very quick. Okay.
Right.
So the thing is like I want to, but here's the thing is that not everyone is cut out for it. Okay. And that is perfectly fine. There are people who do much better in your style, which is what, well, not your style, but of what you know, which is buying, holding, and then, when it gets to a certain number, they sell it and cool, right? The only problem with that style of trading is that to make real money, you need to have a lot of real money, okay?
Right.
Right. In this style of trading, you don't need necessarily a lot of money to make a lot of money because in this style of trading, you are playing with leverage, right? You have
Right.
leverage. A broker gives you a certain amount of leverage, and you're able to basically, for every $1 that you use, you're basically able to get $10, right? Of
Right.
leverage. So that is the thing, finding out about you. Are you like a very anxious person? Are you a very nervous person?
No, I like to take risks.
You like to take breaks?
Risks.
Oh, you like risk. Oh, you're risk
I'm a risk
averse.
taker. Yeah. I mean, to
So
make money, you need to take risks.
okay, all right, okay, that's a great sign because then you understand. Some people they just don't handle
They
that
don't
very
want to
well.
lose.
No, no, some people do not handle that very well, and that can crush you. Okay.
Right.
Now, tell me, as far as investing, what, you know, primarily, how long have you invested for? Like, how long have you dabbled with the stocks and with Bitcoin and all that stuff?
I haven't really done it, but I think I have some people that send BTC to my wallet, and that's just it.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So essentially, yeah, you don't have the experience of that. Okay. Have you lost money yet trading? Have you lost money with Bitcoin? Have you lost money with any stock?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you know the feeling, right? It just sucks. It's a disgusting feeling to lose money.
I know.
Right, right. Okay. So, again, being so extremely fresh to it, is there any research that you have done on your own that I can hear, or no, nothing?
Not much. I just know, okay, I can use the Meta 5. That's the
Mm-hmm.
little knowledge I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have some of the apps that I use to take my BTC in case someone wants to make payments in BTC, and then that's just it. I know you can when you're trading, you can put it on like risk level. There's a risk level you can leave it to. When it gets there, it stops. I
Yes.
don't know how it works.
Okay. Fair enough. So let's make it real simple, right? So, for example, um, let's forget about the charts right now. Let's just talk about risk. Okay. So, do you plan on trading live or demo?
Like
Okay. So let's say you just start out with $500. You put $500 into a demo account, right?
Right.
Okay. No, sorry, into a brokerage, right? And
Okay.
you're talking about MetaTrader 5. So basically, MetaTrader 5, you're going to be playing with Forex. Okay. It's basically Forex
Okay.
because, so, and it's essentially it's the same thing as far as, I trade futures. I used to trade Forex, but as far as entering in a position, closing a position, stop loss, trend line, support and resistance, all that stuff is the same thing. The brokerage is basically what's the difference when it comes down to futures and Forex. Um, so essentially, okay, so imagine this when we're talking about risk, right? The goal, the reality is that you only want to risk 1 to 3% of your entire account on any given trade. Okay. So on any but here's the problem, right? When you're playing with such a small account, which is $500, what is 1% of $500? What is, let's say 3%? What is 3% of $500?
Like 9.
Exactly. Something along these lines, right?
Okay.
So having this in mind, it's like, okay, you're gonna bet, let's say $10 on any given trade that you enter. That's where we're getting to as far as risk goes.
Okay.
$10. That's all you're betting. So imagine what you wanna get out of a trade is a 1 to 3. So essentially, you're only going to be making about $20, 20 $30, right? On your one trade.
Right.
Right. But that's not for you. I highly doubt for you that's something that you want to make. I'm
No.
sure I'm sure you're probably not happy with $30.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So with a $500 account, realistically, you want to bet $50 because then on any given trade you can make 150, maybe $200, which that sounds a little better than $30, correct?
Right.
Right. So that's the thing. It's, realizing if you want to play demo, if you want to play with smaller accounts, make sure you bet a little more. You know what I mean? When you're playing
Okay.
with $100,000, $200,000 in a brokerage, okay, then 1% makes sense. That's $1,000 that you're betting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, with this, you go ahead and you could make $2,000, $3,000 on any given trade. So that
Right.
sounds a lot better, right? So that's why I wanted to let you know what to expect, right? Your expectations. I want to know your expectations on trading. Like, what is your goal? What do you want to make?
Good source of money daily. Good
Yeah,
amounts.
right, of course. And just keep this in mind also, right? And remember that unless you're playing with someone else's money, which is a lot of money, it is going to be very hard to make a living alone on trading. Why? Because here's the problem. The problem is the following, that you can place 99 trades and only one bad trade can blow up your entire account.
Right.
So this is why, you know, trading needs to be an asset. You are trying to learn trading to as a side hustle, as an extra way to add to the money that you are already making.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, right? Just keep it in mind that as you are learning, the goal is, unless you have $1 million to play, unless you have $200,000 to play with, unless you have $100,000 to play with, you have to be realistic with your own expectations. All right. So, just to show you simple stuff, which is trend lines, right? We can just start with trend lines, right?
Okay.
Um, So I trade the Nasdaq, right? On the Nasdaq, basically on what do you call it, on Forex, it's basically NAS 100. That is the pair, right? So when you look up to trade, it would be NAS 100. So essentially, everything is basically, you want to look at a daily, right? Because a daily sentiment is basically what is going to give you the bigger picture, the overall picture of what the market is doing, right? So this is the long, like, so this is basically like what you like, which is long term, what you have been doing, right? Bitcoin, that's something that, you know, you put $100 in and you might make 100, you know, very little because it's long, it's the long game, right?
Long term, yeah.
Exactly. So this is the long game. So we're looking back at months of data here, right? Months of data. So look at this trend line. This is a trend line that was established an uptrend. It was a bull market that the Nasdaq was on, just like the
All right.
S&P, right? Since August, it has been on an uptrend, an uptrend, right?
Okay.
So that's basically your trend line, right? You and a trend line, you basically, you want to look at a point, the lowest point of the market, right, which is about here. This is the lowest point to about the highest point, right, which is about here. This point here,
Okay.
actually. Okay,
Okay.
right here. And essentially, every single time, right, the market's going to go up. Every single time that it comes back down to this trend line, you can safely take a position, which is a buy position, right?
Okay.
Put your stop, let's say whatever you want to, you know, risk, and ride the wave up. Okay.
Okay.
So this is simple trend line trading, right? And again, it's very simple to explain, but you have to remember that the market is going to do what it wants to do, right? Like, you cannot control it. All you can do, the only thing that you have control over is how much money you lose.
Okay.
That is all. That is the only thing, because that is why stop loss is so important, because
Yeah.
that is the only thing that you can control. So again, simple trend line trading, right? And then again, when a trend line is broken, right? You see here, do you see this point here about how the trend line, boom, it was broken. No longer did the market want to continue higher,
Okay.
right? So this is called a consolidation, right? This is when the market is trying to find out, do I want to keep going up? Do I want to now come back down,
Come down. Okay.
right?
Right.
So, so then what's going to happen is it's going to break it, and then it's going to want to retest that original trend that it was on, which you see at this point here, right?
Right.
It retested it. It came up and said, hey, let me see if I want to continue going up after this point, which it did not. So what happened? It's starting to sell off, right? It's starting to lose steam,
Okay.
right? And sell off. So simple. That is the first thing that I want you to check out. Look, you can see it very clearly here, right? This is another very clear picture. Look at this trend line here, right? One sec.
Right.
Look at this beautiful trend that
Okay,
it
right. When
created,
it came up here, it has to come down again.
right?
Okay.
So look, right here, right? It went up, touched the trend, went up, touched the trend,
Right.
went up, and it had so much steam, it didn't even need to come down to touch the trend. It just kept going up. Now look what happened. It broke it, right?
Mhm.
It
Right.
broke it, and I'm gonna zoom in so you can see even better, right? It
Oh,
retested. Look at this candle, right? I'm gonna zoom in because you need to see this. This is a very interesting detail of what I just explained to you,
right.
right? Look at this look at the wick of this candle, right? The
Mhm.
wick, right? The little line, right? It tested the trend line and it said, nope, we're not continuing up. We are now headed down. And then what did it do? It created a downtrend, right?
Right.
It created a little downtrend. So that's this is the most basic form of trading, which is something that your eye should get used to, which is finding trends. What is the market doing right now? Is it going up? Is it going down? Or is it going sideways?
Okay.
Okay. Which right
Okay.
now it's basically wanting to go sideways. It doesn't know right now what it wants to do, but
Mm-hmm.
realistically, it's more so pointing down. It's wanting to do
Well, then,
exactly what happened
okay.
here, which is point down. So that is that, right?
Right.
Um, Something that I suggest you do now that we just went over simple trends, now that you have an idea as far as like risk goes, you have to, think about, okay, what do I want to risk? What some people do is they'll put $1,000 into a brokerage and they'll have $100 trades, right? So
Okay.
they know, so in their mind, you know that you have 10 opportunities, you
Mm-hmm.
have 10 opportunities in that $1,000 to make, let's say, 300, 250, $400, right? So
Right.
let's say you lose. Let's talk about a loss. Let's say you lose that $100. You put $1,000 into a brokerage. You enter on your first trade and you automatically lose $100, right?
Right.
On the next trade, all you have to do is aim for a 1 to 2. And what that means is on the next trade, if you just make 200, you're back to your original 1,000 and 100. So
Okay.
now you're at $1,100. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
Right.
So just keep that in mind, right? Keep it in mind as far as risk. We spoke about it. Think about what you want to be risking if you're going to be playing with a small account. Think about also prop firms, right? But prop firms, I don't recommend for you because prop firms you can trade with a lot of money. Just the problem is that they have too many rules. There's way too many rules in prop firms that you are not accustomed to those rules yet. You don't have experience with it. So I
Right.
wouldn't recommend that you're just going to be that. Well, you will just be losing money automatically. Like you will just that is a wash for you. Um,
Okay.
so keep that in mind. So another thing that I recommend is learning candles, right? Like learning the different candles. But
You found
that
those.
that there's many YouTube videos that you can learn about, like what is a bullish engulfing, what is a bearish engulfing candle, right? Like what this long candle means, what a long green candle means, what these like long wick lines mean. That's all super important, super crucial as far as like when trying to look for a trade, right? So yeah, I mean, uh, do you have any questions? I mean, you look kind of like, you're not confused, but kind of like it's a lot. When I
I
told
mean, it's
you,
a lot, but I think I'm getting it. Because I think I've been on this platform before, and I I will get it. Don't worry.
yes, no, no,
I'll go
listen.
watch videos and then I'll take it from.
Exactly, exactly. Like, but what I recommend is that you try to get your psychology first, because a lot of people think that, like, no, sorry, a lot of people don't keep that in mind, which is your psychology while you're trading, because that is going to be the hardest thing that you deal with. Learning this bullshit, all this bullshit here, this is very easy. All this bullshit is easy stuff. You can learn this in 3 months, 4 months. But what is the hardest thing to do is when you start to lose money. When you start to lose and you have two, three, four trades in a row that are losses, you have to be extremely mentally strong to stick to your plan. You cannot be emotional. You cannot be, overly emotional, which what happens, and that's how people blow their accounts. What happens is you lose 3, 4 trades and you want to make that money back. You're like, fuck, like I need to make this money back. So you start putting larger trades. to try and make it
Okay.
back, and then the market just whoop liquidates you. So keep that in mind. You understand? And
Okay.
again, like, any questions, obviously, let me know. And again, if you really want to get into, you really want to learn, this is just the surface. This is just extreme superficial surface as far as like what trading actually is, what I could explain to you in these 15 minutes. So, I hope that, you took something from it. I hope that, you
A
can
lot.
think about, yeah, I hope you can think about some things as far as like, your style. There's other things like the different pairs you're going to be playing with forex, so the different currencies, some are slower, some are faster. So you have to think about you, like, what kind of a person am I someone who I like the speed and I want to just, be in and out? Or are you the person that you don't mind holding a position for a couple of days, and you don't mind trading on the larger time frames, the daily? I like to trade on the 5 minute. I like to be like, I like to either make my money.
You want a fast pass?
Yeah, well, the thing is that I much rather um be be either in the green or in the red now. I don't want to wait all day to be stopped out. I either want to be right now or wrong now. And that's it. I'm
No.
done. I'm
Okay.
done.
You
I'm
don't.
done with my day, and I move on to all the other stuff that I have to do. You understand?
You want your rigs immediately.
Yes, yes. And it's okay because it's just different styles. People have different styles of trading. So think about what style you want to go after.
Okay.
And that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know. We have like 5 minutes left.
No, not really. If I do, I'll let you know. I'll go to the YouTube and then check some videos out.
Absolutely. Yes,
All
do
right.
that. And yeah, I mean, any other questions you have, let me know. And
Right.
thank you so much for coming on
Thank you
here. And
so
yeah,
much.
looking forward to see what you do with trading. It's always great to see these people that are like fresh, that are just starting, and it's great. So looking forward
We'll
to it.
be great
Okay.
soon.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yes, you got
Bye.
it. Bye bye.
Bye.